big talking brewskis. Marissa Smith is who you see. Water cooler combo in here. Crack a cold one, we're on the air. Big talking brewskis. Marissa Smith is who you see. Water cooler combo in here. Crack a cold one, we're on the air. Kicking back, having a few beers, we're chatting. Pull up your chair, we're all relaxing. Any subject, we never dismiss. Big talking brewskis with Marissa Smith. Comedy, sex, relationships, more. Any subject, we got it in store. Big talking brewskis is coming in live. Crack when open, Marissa has arrived.
Hey guys, this is Big Talkin' Brewskis. I'm Marissa Smith. I've got Lee Paul with me.
Hey, what's up?
So, Lee, how was your week?
My week is, I'm still getting off this hype song of yours. Yeah. Like, I feel like I'd be the guy. I'm never going to be the guy who's rapping. I'm going to be like the hype guy, the one in the back who just goes, yeah, you know. My week has been good. I've been looking for a new place.
Okay.
You know, I'm getting divorced.
Oh, I'm sorry or congratulations?
We're at the congratulatory point
Okay.
of the divorce right now.
Yay, congrats.
Yeah, so it's like I'm finding new digs. And it's divorce is like, I think my marriage was kind of like tailor-made for divorce.
Okay. And how so?
Well, because we always kept our finances separate. You know, like everything was separate. So it's like now they're actually getting divorced. It's like, oh, this is pretty easy. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah.
But think about it. You know, yeah, at this day and age, divorce, it's really just the whole contract thing. It's like, this is my shit. This is your shit. This is our shit. We got to figure out who gets this shit. And it's pretty cut and dry. It's like, I got my shit here. She's got her shit there. And it's a pretty equitable distribution of shit.
Okay. But then, like, what about the our shit stuff? Is that difficult?
I think the only our shit stuff was, it's kind of weird. Like, I guess, not to be sappy sentimental, but it's like really that's like only like the pictures and stuff. But like, I'm new to this divorce thing, so I'm kind of like,
Okay.
Does anybody even want to keep that stuff? You know, it's
Right.
like, or how long do you keep it, or how do you go about like you get. You know, these pictures from we went to Dominican Republic, and I'll take these pictures from when we went to Machu Picchu. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
it's like,
right.
You know, the one thing I will say is the dog. I am getting custody of the dog, so that's a good thing.
What kind of dog is it?
He's like a beagle foxhound mix.
Okay. Like, was it your dog originally, or did you guys get the dog together?
That's a great question, Marissa. I got the dog because my wife was like super depressed. She moved here from Houston.
Okay.
And she was like, I don't know if it was like depressed, homesick depressed, or hope depressed because I'm on birth control and my hormones going crazy depressed, or just a mixture of both. But I got the dog to kind of like, you know, calm her down.
Okay.
And so, but I legally adopted the dog.
Okay.
You know, the dog is mine, but, you know.
Is she getting like visiting rights to the dog?
Yeah, you know, actually, I want her to have visiting rights because now if I go like out of town, like I want, you know, free dog sitting and shit. You know
Right,
what I'm
right.
saying? It's like, come on, it's New York. It's like, you know, it's
That's
expensive.
expensive. Yeah.
You know, expensive. Dude, I remember I can go to a hotel in upstate New York, like a Super 8, spend like, what, $50 a night?
Uh-huh.
That's how much it costs for my dog
Right.
to stay. And they're not even like a kennel or like, you know, like a pound or whatever. It's like, this is some real fancy shit. It's like Paul's Country Club. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like Paul's Country Club in Harlem. It's like $50 a night. I'm just giving these guys a
Great
shout
plug.
out,
Yeah.
a great plug. But it's yeah. So I'm keeping the visitation rights, but really out of ulterior motives that I want to save money on
dog sitting.
On dog sitting, exactly.
Like, does she like the dog though?
That's the thing. I don't know what's going on. It's crazy. She was like, loved the dog. Like, she was always like, oh, you're so lucky that this dog is here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, the dog was like the buffer, you know?
Okay.
The diffusion of the conflict of our relationship. She'd love the dog. She'd obsess about the dog. She'd buy all the dog, like, designer dog shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, the dog had a winter coat, had a raincoat. I don't even have a fucking raincoat.
Right.
You know? The dog turned 5 in November. She went on like Etsy, you know what that is, right?
Yeah.
She found this person. They make this dog cake, right?
Mm-hmm.
They make it out of like edible shit that dogs can eat. You know, like we taste it and it's like, oh, it's just like something that has no gluten in it, and it's like from Whole Foods from hell. But
That sounds like a vegan diet.
yeah, exactly. So she got this, and the dog cake was the absolute face, the portrait of our dog.
Oh, that's cute.
And she spent like fucking, and she wouldn't even tell me how much money she spent on the cake, but she's like, I don't want you to judge me. It's always like this. She was always secretive about my, I don't want you to judge me.
Right,
I don't want you to judge me about how much money I spent on the dog. But now I asked her, I said, what do you want to do about the dog? And she says, I don't care. You can stay here. He can go with you, whatever. I'm like, how do you go from
I love the dog to
Yeah.
like, I don't give a shit about the dog.
right that level of indifference? It's like some sociopathic shit. Like, I can see you wanting to like kick me to the curb and throw me out, but like, come on,
Right,
have some empathy and respect for the dog over here. you know?
right.
So
So like, do you feel like the dog helped at all with the depression?
I think it did. I think it helped for a while. But when you get divorced, the gloves come off, and all the real shit comes out.
Right, right.
So it's like all the stuff that you may be scared around, the issue to talk about, or the stuff that you wanted to go to couples counseling to talk about, and it just comes out. So I was like, she's like, I think the dog was just a way to distract me. It was a distraction.
Okay.
And I was like, what about like we did all these trips and like all the trips were distractions? And I'm thinking to myself, isn't that what everybody does in life? Like we all need
a
like
distraction.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I don't get like what if you smoke weed, you fucking go to baseball games, you got a dog, you can travel. This is shit to make life tolerable,
Right.
you know? And so it's just so weird. It's like this like robotic, sociopathic, lack of empathy. It was just all distractions, you know? It's like my wife is like she's always been very practical. So it's like the woman who's like, all right, I'm going to change a job. I don't like this job. I'm going to transfer. No fear. Boom, transfer. I
Right.
don't like this apartment. Let's go. Let's move to this apartment. No problem, you know? But I never thought it was going to be like, I don't like this married thing.
It's
Or
like, I
this
don't like
dog.
this husband.
Yeah, I don't like
I'm
this-
going to find a new one.
Yeah, I'm going to find a new one. It's time for a
So,
change.
let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And the true colors come out. Like, the flag of total cruel truth is flying
Okay.
high right now. But
So I'm assuming that she initiated the divorce.
she did.
Okay.
She did. We went to couples counseling. And by the way, let me tell you this. For anybody who's listening here, hey, I am a firm advocate of going to get help. Like, we're human beings. We're fucked up. We have emotional problems. We have addictive problems. We have psychological problems. But a one-on-one is great. But if you're cohabitating a relationship and you got to go in front of a third party who doesn't know you to direct emotional traffic, you're fucked. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
It's done. And we went in there, and I said to the therapist she says, what do you guys see about the future of this marriage? What are your goals? That's a good question.
Right. It seems fair.
Yeah, it's fair. So I said, well, I want to come home and I want to walk on eggshells, like wonder what mood my wife is going to be in. And I don't want to be froze out with like no affection, like shutting me down. And therapists always say this when they say that is such great honesty, good work. That's what they always say, good work. You're doing good work over here. And so she goes to my wife, how about you? And she says, well, I'm not attracted to my husband anymore, and I don't want to be married. And the therapist looks at her watch and is like, okay, I think that's about all the time we have for today. But why don't we put a pin on that and come back to it next week? And the punchline to that joke is divorce.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's like where we're at. I don't think it's even my fault. My parents are divorced. My aunt's divorced. I had a couple of divorces. I think it's just hereditary at this point. Like
I tend to agree with that.
Yeah.
So like my parents have been married between the both of them 6 times. And so like I just kind of feel like it's like a genetic thing and to the point where like I'm single and I've been like toying with the idea of like going to like a matchmaker. But like every time I go to try to fill out like the intake forms, like the second question is like, are your parents divorced? And I feel like if I have to say like, well, my mom's been divorced twice and my dad's on his 4th wife, like it's going to be like, we're not even going to try because like you're genetically disposed to be dysfunctional. So like I just kind of like, and then I just like stop right there. I'm just like, you know something, I'll just go back to Bumble where they don't ask me any questions.
Yeah,
like,
all that. You don't need that judgment. You know what I'm saying?
It's
I
like,
don't need it.
Like, how am I
Yeah.
getting judged for my parents' fuck ups?
Yeah. It's like I don't want to be like, please don't punish me for the sins of my fathers and mothers. You know,
Right,
or our
exactly.
Come on, give me
it's
a
like
break.
I haven't been married once yet. I don't even have a divorce under my belt. I wish I had a divorce under my belt.
Why is everything an intake today? Too. Why do we have to like? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, because they have to get all the data.
Oh
and
my
they've got to,
God!
like,
It's like
decipher.
it's like fucking life is just one big algorithm now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like whatever happened to like the spontaneity of it's like, hey, there's some attraction here. Let's figure out why. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Well, there's an algorithm to your attraction. That's why all the dating apps exist.
you know,
It's like, yeah, of course I'm going to be attracted to somebody that's like 6'2" and has abs. I have eyes. Like, you know, I don't need an algorithm for that.
yeah. I mean, that I think it's normal. It's just like saying this person can hunt and will likely make a strong offspring.
Right.
So I'm going to mate up. You know, it's just it's like Darwinian human nature. It's preservation
yeah.
right there. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? This is what it comes down to. It's basically, it's not even about like, oh my God, he's so hot, or she's so hot, or he's so ripped. It's like, this person can kill food, okay, can protect me if I'm ever in danger, and can make a strong offspring. That's it.
Right.
That is the underlying essence of our DNA.
And now, like, really, like, the only thing I'm looking for is, like, if the Handmaid's Tale were to break out tomorrow, is he going to help me escape? Like, that is I don't care how tall, whatever. Like, if I think he's going to help me get to Canada, then it's like, all right, let's try this out for a little bit.
The Canada, that's the go-to for the refugee.
Well, for the Handmaid's Tale,
Right,
it is. For the Handmaid's Tale,
right,
it is.
right.
I mean, I don't. It's probably going to be Costa Rica, actually, but like, who the hell knows? We're all dying tomorrow. It doesn't matter.
Right. And then you can go to Would you go to Canada and then like, are you like one of those women who loves Justin Trudeau?
He's hot as fuck. I mean, I'd say that I think Justin Trudeau is like probably like the hottest prime minister, president type we've got out there.
I mean, I know we're getting off topic with this. What we're for.
Oh,
for
there's
the-
no off
Yeah, yeah.
topic. We're just-
But yeah, you know, Trudeau is like I want to say how many women voted for him because they
He's hot?
actively masturbate to him. You know what I'm saying, all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'd have to say it's probably like it's got to be at least a high 60%. I don't know, because he's like super hot, and he's just like he's hot without being like pretentious hot. He's not like Hollywood hot. He's like that. I don't know, that guy that was in like science class that like you're just like, oh my God, he's like smart and he's like sensitive and like he listens to me.
But he's kind of French Canadian, so he's kind of a little pretentious already. Let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? We can't.
I don't know. I don't get pretension off of him. I really don't.
I think with like Trudeau, I think Trudeau's cool. He has a lot of appeal. He's a very liberal guy, very progressive.
Yeah.
But like I'm kind of afraid for him because I feel like anytime somebody's progressive and who's hot is in office, they end up getting shot in the head. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, yeah. I mean, I can understand.
I mean, I honestly think that with JFK, I think that it was the conspiracy theory was it was just like a group of guys who are like, this fucking dude is just too perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just destroying. All I hear my wife is like, "Oh, this John Kennedy, Jack Kennedy. He's such a great speaker. He dresses so well. Oh, have you? He's so svelte." And they were like, "We got to kill this motherfucker. Like he is literally fucking up the bar of expectation relationships for men."
Like, do you think that was Kennedy's problem, or was it really like his dad's like debts to the mob? Like, I mean,
his
I think it was really Joe Kennedy that got.
It was a
him
bootlegger.
killed.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, who used to speaking from Canada, who used to bring whiskey
Right.
down, and I mean,
He was also a Nazi.
he was well, you know, I think everybody was. I think anybody back then was a Nazi or owned a slave or did some fucking repugnant human, bad inhumane shit.
Right.
I think like if you had money throughout history, or you had power, you had to have some type of degree of separation for doing something that was despicable.
Right.
know.
But that's how you got money back then.
It-
Like,
it's
and now,
exactly.
like throughout time. I mean, if you have money, you're doing some really hellacious shit.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. Because, basically it's all about, leapfrogging other people
Right.
in order to get what you want.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't like.
There's a lot of
Yeah, you
collateral
can't-
damage.
There's a lot of collateral damage, but I want to tell you about one thing. Now that I'm divorced, you know, it's kind of weird. Like, and you've never been married. You don't have to be married to know this, but you've been in relationships.
Yeah.
So what's your longest relationship you've been in?
What, like completely together,
Yeah,
or
like- yeah.
breaks and stuff?
Yeah, let's go with completely together.
Completely together without a break has probably been like a year and 4 months.
Okay, so after that year and 4 months, did you ever notice, you know, when you're in a relationship for a while and then you become single, how the whole world, the perspective changes, like in the social paradigm of things? Like, I'm like on the train now,
Okay.
and you know, you ever ride the train late, and you're in a relationship, you ride the train late, and you're with your boyfriend, you're with your girlfriend, you know, like, this is my buddy, this is my partner. It's Saturday night, it's like big couples night, and then you'd see like people who are by themselves, and you'd be like, oh, what a bunch of fucking weirdos, right? And then now, like, I'm the fucking weirdo on the train. You know,
I don't know,
going-
because like I was always thinking to myself, they probably had more fun tonight than I did.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I'm not like but I get what you're saying, because like for me, it's more, it's more of the fact that like I like not having to make plans.
Right.
Like, and when you're in a relationship, like, you know, like you're just going to hang out with this person and that's already your plan. So then you guys will figure out what you're actually doing. But now it's like you have to, like, when you're single, you actively have to make plans. It's like,
Right.
oh, like, you know, something, it's a weekend. I got to figure out what I'm doing. Let me start texting me. Hey, what's going on? Like, we're
Right.
going somewhere. Like, otherwise I'm sitting in the house by myself. But like, I think the thing that I like the most about being in a relationship is not having to make plans. But, I mean, you make plans together, but it's not
right.
like the
What-
same.
But are you who? Let me ask you. That's a great question, because is always that power, that dynamic role, power dynamic of who does what in the relationship. You know, like, so when you're in a relationship, are you the one that would initially make the plans, or would you rely on your partner to make the plans, or was it like a collaborative effort?
So typically, when it comes to like everyday shit, like, oh, like, where are we going to eat or something like that, then I just like kind of let them do that, because like I honestly don't care. Like, as long as there's food there, like, I'll eat something. But like when it comes to like vacation stuff, like, I usually make the plans, because like I'm kind of like a planner by nature, so it's just kind of like, all right, well, like, I'll do the research of like finding the hotel that's centrally located in the town that has like the good restaurants near it, and like, oh, well, like, you know, this hotel is walking distance to like the best restaurant and bar and blah blah blah, and like we won't have to drive, and you won't have to worry about a DD or an Uber or something, like, or like, and like I'm kind of, and this hotel has like, you know, like this one's got like a dock and you can rent boats, or like, you know what I mean? It's like I'm better at like bigger plans,
Right.
so like I can
You're the
forfeit.
you're the big plan specialist in the relationship. And if it's anything that involves a complex due diligence,
Like getting there
yeah,
and, like, you know.
But let me ask you this. See, this is what I had with my wife. My wife was like the same way.
Okay.
We go out to eat, same shit, textbook to what she described. Me, she said dinner, everything else, like the daily mundane existence of trying to do stuff, to be occupied, to be entertained, was my responsibility. Okay? So we're going to do dinner, see this movie, going to go to a Met game, going to do this, that, blah, we're going to go check out some music. I would take care of all that. She was the same way with you. But you know what pissed me off, my wife? I don't know if you're she'd make the plans for the trips. She's very type A, want to get in there, very everything, like, like all you said, all the dots have to be connected. There's no margin for error. We want to make sure that, you know, this is going to be smooth sailing. But
Well,
then,
I also plan a day of no plans.
okay, well that's good too.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
day of no plans is the best day, you know. But and I'm kind of like that too. I like plans, but I just want to kind of like, let's just check shit out and see what happens. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because, you know, that's like what travel's all about. I don't need I don't need to go. My whole life is so structured. I don't need somebody to say a tour and this, you got to show up at this time. But she would get pissed off at me, resentful, when we do these trips, and she'd be like, I did all this stuff and you didn't do anything to. I'm like, yeah, it's like, if you want to drive, right, and you take the wheel, don't get pissed off at me because the way that you decide to go is a traffic jam, because you're driving. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, don't get mad at me because you didn't check the weather report and, it starts like torrential raining outside and you're stressed out. And, it was always like, I'm like getting like punished for the fact that she wanted to make these plans and do these things. And then she would get upset because it was stressful to have to manage all this stuff,
Well, I mean, if you're a proper planner, you also plan for inclement weather, but that's just
right.
me.
Yeah, but but you know what I mean. I'm spoken more like metaphorically.
Yeah.
It's just like.
But I always have an inside plan.
Right.
Like we were planning to go kayaking, but if it rains, there's a museum. Like
contingency plan.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
In case of emergency, break glass. This is
Exactly,
the shit that's going to
yeah.
save the day.
Yeah.
Right here. It's just like what it's like. It comes down to it. It's like just having relationships in life in general, no matter what they are fucking work.
Well, yeah.
And even your familiar relationships at work. And I think what happened is, it's like I married this person who didn't really want to be married, but thought they'd like be a tourist in marriage and give it a try. You know what I'm saying? For a while, which to me, I can empathize and understand that, but it still fucking pisses me off. It's like, hey, this is my life. Like, I don't need, any quote unquote emotional tourist in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially when it's something like that. It's like, if you're dating, you want to be an emotional tourist, go for it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to do. If you want to fucking couch surf, go for it. But I feel like it's like, and I think also today, I don't know what it is, and I hate so cliche. You always talk about our grandparents, the greatest generation. The average marriage today ends in divorce. 50% of marriages end in divorce after 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we made it like 3.5 years. So I'm like, all right, I'm up in the mean right here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm bucking the statistic. We're up to like, maybe we're going to get up to 3.5 years. But the point is, it's like, when shit gets hard, people all of a sudden just want to be like, oh, fuck this, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I didn't sign up for this. And it's like, I don't think there's any realistic expectation of getting married and or being in a relationship with somebody long term for like a life partner thing, to say that things aren't going to get bad, and if it does, then I'm out of here, because that's just fucking illogical. It just doesn't make any sense. And I don't know. I feel like there's just like so many alternatives. People just get so bored with everything they're doing today that they go on social media and they see all this other shit and they be like, oh, look how, it's like people like compare their lives to everybody else for what they're doing.
Yeah, it's FOMO.
Yeah, to all the video bloggers and the Casey Neistats and all that stuff. It's like, and listen, there's nothing wrong with those people. I don't fault them. Hey, this is fucking America. Hustle, do your thing. That's great, but you don't make the measuring stick of happiness in your life what somebody's putting on their video blog.
Right, because like it's a very sterile, very well curated version of themselves. It's like on social media, everyone just puts like their best face forward, and like you don't see like the times where like they're just like crying in bed, like eating ice cream out of a pint with our bare hands, like
right, or just in a trough. Just Ben and Jerry's chocolate chip cookie dough with Reese's peanut butter cups, just in a fucking dog bowl. Just put it down and just like motorboat it with your face.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But
no one shows those moments.
But you know what's also annoying in that same vein on the opposite end is also now the people who love to do the oversharing on social media.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! Like, I'm in the hospital again. You're like, the doctor says I have to get another test. I'll keep you guys posted.
Right.
Or the whole thing about like, my grandmother passed away and they put the whole thing in. It's like, listen, I understand there's a level of transparency people want, but like, how do you react to that? Even Facebook doesn't know. That's why they're adding like all these different reaction emojis now.
Right, like saddie face.
Yeah, like what-
it's like, oh, I'm so sad for you.
Yeah, it's like how many like it's like what constitutes the proper emoji for that status?
Right.
It's like I almost feel like if someone dies, it should be a thing in there that filters out. Like you can't like that,
Right.
You can't love that. You can't wow or laugh at that. It should also be like nothing or just sadness. That's it, because that is the appropriate response.
But it also depends on like what the person wrote, because they might have written
Right.
something that's like really poignant about the person that they lost, and like you love what they wrote, but not necessarily you're not loving the fact that your dad just died, but
Right.
you love the fact that like this person wrote this very like raw emotional thing that you're relating to about love and loss and life and all that jazz, and you might love that, and that might be inspiring to you, so it doesn't make you sad, so you might hit the love for that or hit the like for that, but you're also like feel sad for them by the fact that like, oh, I'm sorry your dad just died, but like you're not sad about the actual verbiage behind the post. So like it does hit that, and when it comes to that, I usually find like if it's something like oh, I'm in the hospital or so and so just died, I usually just say hope you get better, or like sorry for your loss, instead of hitting the emojis, because like I feel almost like autistically unable to respond to that in the proper fashion.
I think it's a great description of it being autistically enabled, because I get so much. I'm an anxious person by nature. I have a lot of anxiety. So I try to put myself in situations where I can diffuse the amount. Like I say to myself, how much anxiety is this situation going to cause me? Is it worth it?
Right.
So when I go to Facebook now, I have, reactive emoji anxiety.
Right.
For the thing. And then, I don't know, is this me? Am I sick? Am I so OCD and anxious that I do this? I don't know if you do this. You ever go and like somebody dies or something happens and you go and look at all the comments in the threads to see if you're saying the exact same thing that somebody else said? Because it's like an arbitrary thing, like my condolences. It's like, yeah, I can't be, we got to put some I can't be another my condolences guy. I got to mix it up a little bit. We got to nuance it up a little bit.
I kind of feel like, because I do sort of feel like I'm emotionally inept sometimes, like inept. So like, I will kind of scroll through to see what like the average reaction is to whatever thing, and then I'm like, okay, like this is what the median group of this person's friends thinks is like a pretty much a good reaction to this.
Right.
So like, okay, like and I might like do like a slight variation, but at least I know I'm in the emotional ballpark of where I should be. You
know what? I know it probably sounds like a selfish thing or self-indulgent, but I'm so obsessed with being a being a comic, being a writer.
Right.
It's like all the time thinking to myself, and people are gonna see it. You put that shit up there, everybody's reading it. Mm-hmm. Because now it's gotten into the culture where it's like it's not in liking the status. Now it's like people getting responses and reactions to the comments.
Right.
You ever go down the thread and just read that, and you're like, oh, this guy's killing it over here. This guy's got like 17 likes on his comment. You know?
Right.
So it's like
this comment has more likes than the post.
Nah, I got more shit to be freaking worried about here. You know?
Right.
It's like it's just it takes away the normal reactive and empathetic humanity of giving somebody support when they've been in a dire strait in a time of need.
Right. Yeah.
It used to be like, I'm so sorry. You give them a hug, anything you need. But when you put it on Facebook, you put it on there, it's like, oh man, now it's this whole contextual nightmare. You know what I'm saying?
Well, like I've always kind of felt a little bit like awkward about the like, well, whatever you need, like, you know, let me know kind of thing.
Right.
Because it's just like, well, I don't have any clue what they like, you know, like
Right.
I don't know what you need. Like, are they coming back? Like, all right, let's go to Vegas and kill a hooker. I have no idea what they need. Like, so I kind of shy away from that. Just even going back to like just kind of like everyday kind of like greetings, like how are you?
Right.
I usually try to like shy away from that in real life just because like I had this one example where I was meeting a friend for lunch. I hadn't seen him in a long time. And I was like, oh, how's your day going? And I think that's so innocuous. And you're expecting like, oh, good. Or like, oh, it was a pain in the ass, busy day in the office. And he's just like, oh, it kind of sucked because I just had a wart frozen off my dick. And it's like, we're about to have appetizers right now. Like, I don't need this. Like,
Wow.
you know, it's like, this is a lot. Like, it's a lot.
He really took that question very literally.
Yeah,
Like, how,
it-
you know, he really just wanted to just divulge everything.
And it was
you know?
just like, we like
Yeah.
literally.
And who is this?
ordered.
Who was this person?
It was like a friend that's a comic, and but like he didn't mean it in like a comedic sense. Like he
Right.
meant it in like, hey girl, oh I had a day, like, and I was just like, oh, like that's a lot. Like,
Well-
and then I'm starting to think in my head, like, have I shared any food or drinks with him? Did
Yeah.
I use his fork? Did I drink from this? Like, you know, like, am I gonna have like genital warts in my mouth? Like, what's happening?
I think he did you a kind of a service because now if you had any inclination in the past or present or future, if any situation of possibly being under influence, whatever, maybe hooking up with this person, now that will never happen.
well,
You know what
no,
I'm
he
saying?
was
So
gay, so like it wasn't
Oh,
gonna happen
okay.
to begin with.
All right.
But
Well,
like,
then
you
that,
know,
okay.
But it was still kind of like, like, you know, it just was like, it's too much.
He
Like,
couldn't just say I had to go to the doctor today.
yeah.
But then people they might be like, oh, is everything okay?
Right. Because
Yeah, it's fine. It's like and then some people like will go the other way. They'll be too inquisitive.
Right.
And it's like, like one question turns into like 12, you
Right.
know, and like, where'd you go to the doctor for? What's going on? Is everything okay? And then, so maybe he was just like, you know what? I'm going to bypass all the bullshit, additional, Gestapo tactic inquisition and just be like, yeah, I had to get a wart burned off my dick today. How you doing? You know what I'm
right.
saying?
You know, it was a lot.
Right.
Like for lunch, it was extra for lunch. It was totally extra for lunch. So now that you're getting a divorce, have you like tried to start dating yet?
You know, it's
or,
weird.
Like hooking up with other people?
It's weird because I'm cohabitating still.
Okay.
It's a very New York City thing to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you're married or if you're just living together, your partners. It's like having to live together until A, the lease is up, or B, until you find something better, or C, until a homicide happens. One of those three things.
Right.
So right now I'm looking at option B right now. I'm trying to find my own digs. But it's hard. I'm like 40 years old. And New York's like one of those weird places too that, and you know this, everybody know, if you live in New York City, it's like, it's the only place that you can be a grown adult who pays their bills, who is like pretty responsible and still is close to middle age and lives with a roommate.
Right.
It's like there's nowhere else, in the country that's like that.
Right.
And it's just because, it's what's that guy who had the campaign? The rent's too damn high.
Right.
Remember that dude?
Yeah,
He was running, and so I'm like looking at places, and it's so laughable. It's like when you go to look at places in New York City, it's the picture of what's online. It's never the apartment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's always like this nice picture with all this light, big room, maybe see a little exposed brick.
Yeah.
The hardwood floor, it's shiny. You're like, oh yeah, that's the spot. That's a cool New York apartment. And then you get there, and it's like some like SRO shit in a basement, and like there's a shared bathroom. There's like a dead rat, in the vanity cabinet.
Yeah.
And then they're like, yeah, and there's going to be a 15% broker fee for that too. You know. It's
Yeah.
But I have been looking at places, and I'm trying. It's weird because when you're cohabitating too, you can't. Even if you're in the house at the same time, it's hard to act like, hey, we'll just sit on TV and like watch our regular stuff. Like, oh, Westworld's coming back. You're gonna watch that? Like, it's kind of like that's the shit you did when you were in it. When there was a snuggle, there was a hug, there was a kiss, there was a I love you. There was like the substance of the relationship. But now that's gone, and you try to carry it on. It's like sitting there trying to play checkers with the corpse and waiting for them to move.
Right.
It's like, oh, you're up. Oh yeah, I'll move for you. You know, it's just awkward.
Right.
You know? And the good thing about it, my wife, I will say this, is there's been a real level of civility. But sometimes, occasionally, I like to bring up shit, not as to push buttons, but I need the closure. You know, it's like, 6 years, you're together with somebody, so I have to bring stuff up. And like, why are you asking me this? Like, why do you have to start a fight? I'm like, we're not fighting. We don't have to be upset. I just want to know. Because guess what? When I leave here, we're not going to talk about this shit anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to therapy over this. This is done. This situation has solved itself,
Mm-hmm.
But I just want like a little bit of some answers, I don't know what it is. I think it's my wife, it's for the Asian thing. She's from the Philippines. Like,
Okay.
It's very like bottled up. Like, we don't talk about our emotions.
Mm-hmm.
We just do really well in school, and we do well at our jobs, and we have good credit. And no matter what, if we're mad, happy, or sad, like, we don't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? We just deal with it like everybody else. We just shove it deep down, until it turns into cancer, and one day we have to have surgery. That's what we do.
Right.
And see, like, I come from like an Italian and Jewish background. Like, all we do is talk,
Mm-hmm.
and we're loud.
Yeah.
And see, my family, we could talk. Like, I could sit there and have a fight with my father. I remember one time I took my dad, who went to Europe. My dad at the time was 69 years old. It was back in 2012. And we're I don't know if you've ever traveled, if you've ever been overseas, but
Yeah.
So we're in Europe, and we're taking the train in France. We're on the Eurail. We go from Spain and we're in France, and Spain's great. The fucking infrastructure's tight. Everybody's really nice. They respect. They see you with your pops. They're like, yeah. Then I get to like France, and just like everybody's walking around, like just smoking cigarettes, and they're just like, hey, do you know how to get here? And they're just like, oh no, I don't know. I'm sorry, And I'm trying to get around, and we're trying to get on the right train, and my dad's like, and he's in a wheelchair at this point, so I'm pushing around. And he says to me, you don't know where you're going. I told you. You should have listened to the other guy. And I just looked at my dad and I said, you know what? I said, without me by yourself, you wouldn't last one day, dude. You'd be dead. So I was like, just shut up and let me take care of this,
Mm-hmm.
And, we was like screaming and yelling. And then the next 15 minutes, we're hugging and kissing, making up. But that's how my family is.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Like, we could do that. We can emote, we get it out, we deal with it, and we move on. And my wife was never like that. Like, if you raised a voice, scream, like, she just shut down. You know what I'm saying? Just shut down. I remember one time we had an argument, and she threw this glass on the floor, smashed it into 1,000 pieces. And she says to me, and this is the funniest thing, because this is what she says to me, lower your voice. The neighbors are going to hear. And I'm like, well, I'm not the one breaking glasses here, drama queen. It's like,
Right.
Chill out. And that's when it made me realize that I don't want to say this. No, this is not a misogynistic statement just from somebody. A man being in a relationship with a woman and living together. This is when I realized as a man, like, that a woman can ruin your day. An angry woman can ruin your day at any given moment and completely make it your fault. Like, it's like an innate talent, or at least my wife had this talent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to act crazy and gangster, and I'm going to blame it on you. And that's exactly...
Well, don't
Yeah.
start nothing won't be nothing.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Where, Marissa, where are you from?
Yonkers.
Ah. That's where DMX is
Yes.
from.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm hooked. What am I doing? I went to Bushwick last night. And it's kind of weird, like when you've been in a relationship while you're single, and you go out and you're like, oh, all this shit's going on. You're like, whoa. And they have all like the art warehouses. My friend's an artist. She's doing this art show. So I'm at this place called Basement City.
Okay.
And it's off of like the Jefferson stop. And so I'm going there, and they have, it's like a warehouse, and there's like 30 different little studios. And you kind of walk around, you see everybody's shows and exhibitions. And this is why I love New York, because shit like this. And this is shit's free.
Right.
You know, saying they got cheese, they got chips, they got wine. People just go, a lot of people just go there because they want to get like free food and get fucked up.
Right.
Nobody gives a shit about the art.
Right.
People want to go like, oh my God, that's so amazing. You know, and they're like, do you guys have beer? And it's like, you know, like, come on. We know why you're here, you know. So, you know, stop trying to act like you're cultured. You know what I'm saying? So I went in there, and this one girl was doing this thing. It's like a performance artist piece. And she says, and the fucking room is packed with people. And nobody knows what this person's going to do. So you just show up. And she's like, hi, everybody. I'm going to tell you a story about my face. And I'm like, okay. I thought it was going to be like a story, you know, like a storytelling. I'm like, oh, cool,
Right.
storytelling. So she puts on this, like, she plays her iPhone, and it's just like weird. It's just like this weird kind of techno lounge, like repetition music. I'm like, okay. And she takes out a bucket, and is like this, like big, like goop putty shit in a bucket, and she's like putting water in there and some other stuff. She's mixing it with her hands, and it's like, now you're just kind of waiting, like, what's going to happen here? What's going on? She's like, she takes this stuff and she's mixing it, she's kneading it, and then she's like kind of dumps it out on the floor, and now it's like this big blob, and she's like kneading it like you would knead pizza dough. I'm like, what's going on here? And then she puts like all this glitter in it, and she's kneading it, and we're like watching. And this goes on for like 15 minutes. So I'm like, now, you know, I'm a comic. I'm waiting for the payoff. I'm like, man, this setup is really long. Come on, this shit better be amazing.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So I'm sitting there. So then she takes her shirt off and her bra off. I'm like, here we go. You know what I'm saying? And she puts the final mixture like on top of her face and on her like chest, covering her breasts, and she literally, you ever see Nightmare on Elm Street? You know the movie, you know, Freddy Krueger.
Right.
You remember that part where he's coming through the plaster, you know, and he's kind of like, you know, his face, you can see it, and that's what she like ended up like looking like, and she was like, and at the end, and she like pokes a hole in her mouth so she could breathe, and she goes, "Thank you," and everybody's like,
Right.
and I was like, wow. I'm like, and this is why I love New York. You know what I'm saying? Is you can see, like, go and see shit like that.
Like it's random.
Yeah, some rando shit right there.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm going to start working with putty and glitter. Is what
All
I'm
right,
saying.
that's what you're getting at.
Exactly.
You're going to be a part of Rando, New York.
Rando, New York.
So now, like, are you like dating? Like, how's your sex life now?
I'm not. I haven't had sex. It's been 3 months.
Okay.
Since I've had about 3 months I've had sex, and I kind of like. I hung out. I met this really cool girl. From, you know what I've realized too, the whole thing, you ever hear the whole adage people say opposites attract?
Right.
Next time somebody says that to you, Marissa, punch them in the face. All right, because that's some bullshit right there. You know what I'm saying? I know. You need to have shit in common with another human being in order for you to sustain some kind of relationship. If you just want to go out and bang somebody one night, it's all good. But like, if you want to like start dating, it's got to have something in common. And so I'm with my people now, you know, because I do music too, you know, so I've been going like every day I've been doing comedy music now. That's the one thing I'm going to say, this might be the best thing ever happened to me, because I'm finally like being able to be my true authentic self all the time instead of watering my shit down, because I don't want to make my wife uncomfortable.
Right.
She'd always get like, I'm like, oh, you always want to be center of attention and blah and this and that. She's very introverted, you know what I'm saying? And I always thought to myself like, oh, well, you know, I'm an outgoing guy and I need somebody to counterbalance me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I can't be somebody who's just like me. That would be annoying. But the reality is, it's like, I think the only way you can actually tolerate and stomach somebody is if you completely understand and empathize with where they're coming from, you know, like who they are. So I met this girl. She's from She's from Switzerland,
Okay.
and she's Sicilian, and she's just like super cool. She sings. She was singing "Son of a Preacher Man" like the other night, like vibing. We were like hanging out, Red Lion, and then I took her to this place, West Park on 86th and Amsterdam at the West Park Church. They have an open mic there on Friday nights. I go there, kind of work out some new stuff sometime. But we've been hanging out. She speaks like 4 or 5 languages, you know, and she's like me, but smarter and with boobs.
Okay.
Well, actually, no, I shouldn't say that because I have boobs too. You know, it's one of the 2 things I inherited from my mom: boobs and anxiety. You know, yeah, we've been kind of hanging out. I gave her that, like, it's kind of like I'm back in the game now, so it's kind of like, you don't want to push it too much, you know? So I kind of walked the subway. It's like the 3rd time I saw her, gave her the little kiss.
Right.
You know how you do that for one thing? You're just like, good night, the hug, and you look at each other again like, all right, are they going to do it? Is she going to do it? Good night.
Yeah.
I did a kiss, and I gave her a kiss, and she was like, and I was trying to, like, make it more of a kiss. She was like, all right, come on. And I was like, all right, bye. And then I'm thinking to myself, like, this is how I am, like, oh, fuck, was that a bad come on? Or was that like a, come on, there'll be more time? Or like, come on, what are you doing?
Right.
So I'm walking back now, take the crosstown bus. I'm thinking to myself, fuck, what kind of come on was that? Was that the good come on or the bad come on?
Right.
So now the anxiety is back again. I'm waiting. I got the WhatsApp text. And then I text her, and then she's like, yeah, I got home safe, and thanks for this night. And then you're like, all right, I guess it was a good come on. Because there's still contact.
Right.
So I might, you know what? I don't know what happened to me, man. I'm like, I got so used to being in a relationship. It's like I feel like, and I don't want this to happen because I said to myself, no emotional abstinence. I said for the year. If I want to have fun and somebody's down to have some casual fun, great. That's cool. I'm going to make it up front. I'm like, listen, I'm coming out of divorce, and I can't commit to any shit except if it's casual fun. And if you're okay with me, eventually, you know, occasionally licking your pussy, great. But if not, like, we can't do this. You know? And but then the emotional side of my brain is like, oh my God, this girl's so great. Like, we got to start dating. I can't wait till I go to Switzerland. I'm going to be riding in the back of her motorcycle. Like, I got all this shit. And I don't know, it's just because I got so used to being in a relationship, or I think maybe what happens when, for me at least, as a man, when you cohabitate and you get domesticated, your T level drops. Your hunter instinct drops. You really start, the feminine energy takes over. Like, I think my boobs actually got a little bigger over this relationship too, because the estrogen level has increased, you know? It's like, man, what's going on with me? Am I fucking watching Lifetime original movies, you know? Crying about the girl who needs to get out because she's being beaten? Like, get out of there. You don't need that, girl. You don't need that from that man. You're better than that, you know?
Right.
And it's like, because I really hate to say it, it's corny. I liked being married. I liked having a buddy. And I had free, like, you know, I did music and comedy. I'd go out, but I liked having that, like, I know where I'm coming home. I know who I'm coming home to. And it was good. I mean, and I just figured, like, I got used to, like, the sex. I think that, I feel like, I don't know if have you ever lived with anybody in a relationship? Okay, so you know, no. So let me tell you something. When you live with somebody, and this is me speaking from school right here. When you live with somebody, I don't care if you're married or not. As soon as you move in, after a few months, within 6 months, the sex is boring. It's no longer eventful anymore.
Right.
It's like when you don't live.
It's always there.
It's always there. You just take it for granted. Then the veil of mystery gets lifted.
Right.
All the nasty shit that you do starts to come out.
You're like farting and shit in front of each
Everything.
other. Yeah.
I'm like a morning noise guy. I wake up. I'm like, I clear my throat. You know, I'm making noises. Like I sound like a goat having a seizure in the morning.
Right,
you know what I'm
right.
saying? Like, and I know that if a woman hears that she's living, the pussy's drying up.
Right.
They hear that the pussy is drying up.
Yeah.
They don't want that.
No, it's like, who's this goat boy?
Yeah, exactly. I understand. I'm not a goat fucker. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. So, and me, honestly, I've always I should have known when something's wrong when, we were having sex and she was like, no foreplay. Let's just get this over with. She took on like the masculine role, like, let's just fuck. Come on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let's just go. And I'm all like, no, come on, let me kiss you and your neck and let me suck on your nipples and eat your pussy. And she's like, no. And that should have been a telltale sign when a woman, especially a wife, is saying no to you licking a pussy. Because if you can't experience joy from a man's mouth and lips on your clitoris, then you got some issues. You're like, there's some shit going
you're
on
just
there.
like, oh, fuck this. Like, I've got soaps to watch. Like, there's dishes in the sink.
Whatever.
I gotta do laundry.
I gotta go online, look at my favorite, DNA or fucking, BuzzFeed shit, whatever it is. I got shit to do.
Yeah.
Which she would do a lot. That was like her decompress. She'd be like, I need to come home and I gotta get my laptop and look at all the garbage, and that's how I decompress. I need to do that.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, I get that. And then I can deal with like you and the questions and socializing. I said, okay, no problem. But have you ever been with a guy? I don't care if he was even annoying. It was actually probably, wouldn't you look forward to like, finally this guy shut the fuck up and he's doing something right. He's licking my pussy. Like, this is a good thing.
Right.
Have you ever had a sense of dread or hesitancy about a guy going down on you?
No.
Thank you.
No.
So I'm not crazy with that. That's like, there's something that's definitely, there's something wrong there.
Yeah, no.
Okay. All right.
I mean, that, like, to the point where, like, not when it's like me focused, but like if he takes a long time to finish, then it's just kind of like, I've got shit to do. Like, I don't feel like getting involved with this. But like, if it's like me centric, then it's just like, okay, like I can handle this. But like, I've definitely had like sometimes where like a guy is just like, not that like you want like a minute man, but like at the same time it's just kind of like, this is like, I don't have 2 hours to get this done,
right?
Like, you know what I mean? And like, and I don't know, maybe I'm just not necessarily like aggressive enough to be like, let's get this done. But if I think that this is going to take longer than I have time for, I'm just not getting involved in it.
Who initiates sex when you're in a relationship? The guy, you, or it's split? Mostly. If you were to say, like, we do it like on a percent, out of 100% of the time, how much is it you, how much is it the dude, and how much is it joint?
I think that it depends on the relationship. Like, I know that...
Tell me about your last one, because I'm trying to get a barometer now, because I'm going to give me something.
My last one, I'd say, like, the last, like, 4 months of our relationship was, like, me initiating and getting shot down. And so...
Really?
Yeah.
Can you? How would you, like, give me an example of how you would initiate? I know this is your podcast, but I need to ask this question.
No, that's fine. So like, let's say like we were like going to bed at night or whatever, and we're like saying goodnight or goodnight kiss or whatever. It might be like a longer, more passionate kiss, and I might like be like a little bit more handsy than I normally would, which I think is more like, all right, like, you know, like let's not go to bed just yet. Or like, if like I just got out of the shower and like I know he's like watching TV or something, and I just might like kind of like walk into the living room like, ooh, my towel dropped.
Got a fresh vagina, ready to go.
It's just like, and it's just like, all right, well, I'll see you in bed in a little bit. I'm just like, okay, like you know what I mean. But like,
is there ever a pressure as a woman when it comes to initiating sex, and how much of it do you rely on the guy to kind of be a little assertive?
Well, so like
Now,
guess,
and we're not talking about like one night stands. That is like everybody's a fucking animal, you know. When that happens, just like, rah, you know.
Yeah.
But
I don't know, because I've definitely been told on like more than one occasion that like I'm insatiable. But like it's just kind of like, so I feel like I don't know if I'm like dating guys that are like less sexual than me, or if I'm like more sexual.
So you got a pretty high sex drive.
I call myself a sexual camel. So like I can like go like long stints without sex at all, but like once I'm getting sex on, it's just like I'm just stocking it all up until I don't have it anymore. Right.
You just hoard the sex, hoard the fuck, and then it's just like abstinence for a long period of time.
Right, yeah.
Right. So you're basically like you like to binge. You know what I'm saying? Like me,
Yeah.
I used to be a binge drinker. You're a binge fucker.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's like, yeah, I've done. It's like you're going on a fucking binge for like a bender for like maybe a week. And then like could be like 3 weeks, 4 weeks that you don't have any
Oh,
sex.
longer. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you really are a camel.
Yeah, no. I mean, right now it's been like since December.
Well, okay. That's about, I'm a little bit more than me. I'm like about 3 months.
Yeah.
But what about, to me, I don't know. I'm a big fan of the, how are we doing on time? Are we good?
Well, we need to wrap it up in a couple of minutes. Yeah.
Okay. Such a comic thing to say. How are we doing on time?
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't want to blow the line.
Yeah.
I want to get back on this podcast. I love the poke in the middle of the night.
Okay.
And my wife I was denied the poke.
Okay.
It's just like, just did not want the sleep fuck with.
Right.
And I can empathize. All right, no problem. I'll go about, jerk off, do what I got to do.
Right.
Because I think for me, especially, like, the thing that was different, I think this is when I said the opposites attract, you can't follow that bullshit cliches. For me, sex is like, it's a thing I enjoy, thing I want to do with somebody that I care about, but it's also something that, like, helps me fucking chill out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'm stressed.
Yeah.
And I don't drink and do drugs.
Right.
So all I have is food and sex.
Right.
If I can't fucking eat, I'm going to blow my brains out, you know?
Yeah.
So, and my wife is all like, had to be in the right emotional state. Couldn't have had a stressful day. Had to be a good day. Work with the right people. No anxiety. Be well rested. Everything like optimal fucking conditions. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah. And it just became like, I got used to kind of like having to placate to these optimal conditions. Like, I like morning sex. I think biologically, it's like men, I think we're made for morning sex because, you know,
the morning
we
wood
get
thing.
the erection,
Yeah.
and that is your body's natural way of saying, and do you know why that happens? Because your sperm count is higher, a male sperm count is higher in the morning, in the beginning. All you fellas out there, if you're fucking and you want to get your wife or have a baby mama, have sex in the morning. When your dick is hard, that's Mother Nature's way of saying, it's time to do this. Let's go.
Right.
And never think, same thing, my wife, no morning sex. It would have to be no pokes in the night, no morning sex. It would have to be, all right, we're going to bed before, very planned. And every once in a while, if I would initiate, it'd be on the couch. I start the neck and the kiss, and it'd be. But for the most part, that's what it like turned into.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm playing it. I'm kind of playing it slow right now. With the dating scene.
Yeah. Well, you'll figure it out, and it sounds like you're on your way with the divorce and your Swede. But we're gonna have to wrap it up and take a break. But
Cool.
And you're more than welcome to stay for the next segment if
All
you
right.
have time. But before we go, like, where can everyone follow you on social media?
Oh yeah.
What gigs do you have coming up next?
Yeah, I got on Instagram, which I've been slack on my Insta game, but I'm getting back. Is a show for the ages, and that's SHOW, the number 4, and then THEAGES, the ages.
Okay.
Lee Paul Creasy on Facebook. I will be at the Grizzly Parrot, this guy Tate Winston's show on Tuesday, 10 o'clock.
Nice.
It's a really cool place.
Yeah,
I'll be
yeah.
hosting Ugget for old Todd Mondesi at Soho Playhouse on May 1st.
Cool.
And then also, if you want to come and this is some cool rock and roll and blues and soul, my band Age of Change will be at Wicked Willie's on 420
Nice.
Friday. And we'll also be at American Trash Bar on April 21st. So I'm just arting it up right now, trying to like just be
Do your
happy.
shit, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, cool. All right, this has been Big Talking Brewskis. We will be right back.
Yeah, big talking brewskis. Marissa Smith is who you see. Water cooler combo in here. Crack a cold one, we're on the air. Big talking brewskis. Marissa Smith is who you see. Water cooler combo in here. Crack a cold one, we're on the air. Kicking back, having a few beers, we're chatting. Pull up your chair, we're all relaxing. Any subject, we never dismiss. Big talking brewskis with Marissa Smith. Comedy, sex, relationships, war. Any subject, we got it in store. Big talking brewskis is coming in live. Crack when open, Marissa has arrived. Big talking
Hey
brewskis
guys,
with Marissa
welcome
Smith.
back. This is Big Talking Brewskis. I'm Marissa Smith. I've got Rodney Daniels with me.
What's up, guys? Happy Friday. It's Big Talking Brewskis time.
I still have Lee Paul with me.
In the house.
And we are welcomed by Movida.
Hola.
Hola. ¿Cómo estás, chica?
¿Cómo está?
So Rodney, how have you been?
I've been good. This morning I found out that Cardi B is pregnant. I don't know if you guys know about that.
No, I did not know that Cardi B
Yeah,
was pregnant.
she's a rapper. Just came out with like her first solo album. She had like a huge hit last year, Bodak Yellow, and she's pregnant by Offset. She's only like 24, like at the top of the charts right now. Like, why? She's like on SNL and just like
should have
bust it
babies
out.
earlier. You
think so?
Yeah, you want those fuckers out of your house as soon as possible, for real. And she's got the money to get sitters.
Yeah,
It's not like
true.
she's got to deal with them.
I think she got the money to support those baby mouths. Yeah, she's a sugar mama and a baby mama. She's a
all
sugary
the
baby
mamas.
mama. Yeah.
She's all the mamas.
Cardi B, she
got
this.
So Mo, how was your week?
My week was fantastic. Like, it was one of those weeks where it was so good. I was like, well, might as well end it here.
It's all going to shit now.
I'm tapping out of this bitch. No, it's fantastic. I got back to New York on Sunday. Granted, it snowed on Monday just to, usher in April. But no, it was, I got on shows that I didn't expect. My birthday was Wednesday. Lovely
Oh, happy
people came
birthday.
out.
Feliz
Thank
cumpleaños.
you. So I got to see, I don't know.
I know. I
I've
feel
been
like I've
feeling
seen
love.
you like every day this week. Like
I know, right? Which I love because I
Yeah.
feel like last time I was here, I didn't
Like,
get
we
to
didn't-
see you nearly as much as I would have liked.
yeah,
so.
like we didn't hang out too much, but like I saw
Yeah.
you Sunday when you came,
Right.
and then I feel like I saw you Tuesday.
Yeah.
I saw you Wednesday,
Yeah.
and then I'm seeing you again today.
There you go.
There you go.
See,
Nice.
and that's how my week went. It
Guys are
was a lot of
stalkers
Marissa,
for
so
each
it was
other.
amazing.
Yeah,
So I'm
Well,
tapping
you know,
out.
I'm pretty fun gal.
Pretty
yeah,
amazeballs.
No, it's fun. It's awesome.
It's good.
So now, Mo,
Yes.
how do you weigh in on the sex robot debate?
God, thanks. I thought for a second she was like, "How do you weigh?" I'm like, "A lot. I weigh a lot. Like a lot." I'm not. This isn't even a joke. The last time I went to the doctor, they weigh you every single time. The first time they weighed me, and then I had to go back for something else, and they had a new nurse, and she started to weigh me. I'm like, "I'm calling this. I'm 151," and she's like, "Oh, hush, you are not." Oh, okay. And I was like, "I wasn't lying, bitch." The sex robot thing. I just. So first of all, I mean, they're hot. The ladies are hot. I love how this is what cracked me up about reading about the sex robots, the female versions, is that you can pick the accent that you
Yeah.
want them to have. And I'm like, there's sex robots for men. Like, they don't
Need to talk?
no.
Right.
No. Like, don't even have an on switch for that shit. Like, what do they need to say? Oh, your dick is so big. All right. In a Scottish accent. Like, it's just.
I like to hear I have a big cock in Italian. That would be nice. You know what I'm saying? I'm very excited about that. you know?
All right. Fair. I stand corrected. I don't know. It's one of those things where. Like, yay, technology, but also I'm convinced. Here's the thing. I'm convinced in like 10 years, we're just going to stop having sex with one another. And the only way the races are going to continue in the species is going to continue is we're just going to like it's going to be like a frozen yogurt shop where you go in and choose the sperm that you want, and then you just kind of fill a cup and like get a turkey baster and make your baby. Like
Yeah.
I think we're going to stop fucking each other altogether.
I mean, it's a real possibility because they also have the male version of the sex robot that is never going to be Olympic.
Right.
you know,
Oh, that's so nice.
Well, yeah.
Can I just get a robot dick and still be a human? Like,
I have one.
Mm-hmm.
I have a robot. Oh, I'm sorry. Is that not what you meant? I'm actually a big proponent of glass dildos, but I digress.
Oh,
Really?
What's
Oh,
what's the big
fantastic.
difference? I mean, I know like
I
aesthetically.
mean, it's smooth, but like I would think it's cold.
Well, I mean, it's glass, so you run that bitch under some warm water, you're good to go.
put a
All right.
dishwasher. It's very easy.
Yeah, and it's very stiff,
Yeah.
but like in a good way.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Rodney's like, all right, where's my notepad?
Right.
Glass
Glass
dildo check.
dildo.
Amazon Prime can deliver it. It's
God, I love
I don't know.
Amazon
That shit breaks
Prime.
though. That's horrifying.
No. They're like
it's
it's like,
like
a solid
solid.
piece of glass. It's not like a hollow piece
No,
of glass that your
it's- yeah.
vagina can crush.
Right.
Like
Depends on the vagina, though, Rodney. I mean, I've.
You know, I do my
Can I
Kegels.
TMI? Can I TMI?
yes, TMI all you want.
So it's also fun to play with a lover because it's kind of like having
Lover. Go ahead, Evan Childs.
no. Have we met?
Yeah.
I think like when they look like it's glass, so it's kind of see through. So it's like you can kind of see things that you wouldn't if it were like a plastic dildo. Does that make sense? Like you can see inside. Does that?
Ah. So it's like a
okay.
Discovery Channel dildo.
Yeah,
you know,
it's not like a
basically. Right.
mirror telescope, but like it's not. You can see through it. That's my
Right.
point.
All the way
Anyhow,
up
I think
in
it's
there.
fun for everyone. That's my point.
I don't know if I want to see some of the stuff inside, though. I don't know. Some of it might be a little, it's kind of like, you watch those YouTube channels and they have of like people getting drains and things like that done in surgery, and it's like, some people are like, oh my God, this is great, and I'm like, no, I don't like that. Yeah, it's not. I don't want to see too much. I want a little mystery. You know what I'm saying? Just give me
That's
a
fair.
little, give me a
Right.
little mystery. Hey, we're all human. We all have disgusting insides, but I want to think that it's like, something cute. Maybe there's like a unicorn in there or something. Just that's it.
There's
Wait,
a
do
little
you guys ever-
leprechaun helping
Yeah.
you find the G spot.
Yeah. Like a little gnome. Like, hello there.
Traveling gnome. Yeah.
He's like, why do you think I have this pointy hat? Yes.
Look,
North lady, north.
Travelocity's in my twat. Yeah, no, I get that.
It's Travelocity Trot.
Right.
Like, I don't know. It's like, I guess like it's almost like a see-through speculum at that point. No, like
I mean, yes, but not as
Like
surgical
Jack-
and cool. Like it's
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 not like
dope.
jacking
It's
you up.
Joe,
Yeah,
you
like,
could see like all the way up in
It's
there.
very. I mean, listen. Everything is good or bad. It's what you make it, but it can be super fucking sexy.
Actually, Mo, I would agree with you one thing for that enhanced vision. It's probably good if you don't have health insurance, you know what I'm saying? Because then it's like a 2-for-1 thing. It's like you get like a gyno exam, or it could be me, like I get my prostate exam, you know what I'm saying?
Breast exam.
Breast
Yeah,
exam.
Absolutely.
Right, all of those things in one, and you get to have an orgasm. So everybody
And I can
wins.
stick it in your ass. It could be like a colonoscopy. Let's do
Colonoscopy.
this. Let's do it, Lee.
I think
I like
I
so
feel like
I'm
you're,
over-
I feel
I'm
like
over
you're
40.
asking me out, but you're being indirect.
I'm due. I think I'm due. And since I'm getting divorced, I'm going to lose my health insurance. So yeah, I think
Oh,
I'll take.
shit.
I'll take that date.
I went to brunch with a girlfriend of mine just now, and the bartender, we were like messing around because we got this like huge brunch, and we were kidding, and we were like, we're eating our feelings. And I took a big thing of whipped cream from the French toast. It was like, just because he cheated on me. And later on, he like leans into me and he goes, so is the divorce fresh? Did you just get divorced? I'm like, I've been
Oh,
divorced
shit.
since 2005.
and I'm still eating my feelings.
She's a comic.
and that's how we ended up here.
I was like, wow, I must be super jaded.
Because Lee is actually just in the beginning stages of a divorce right now. Like, do you know when it's going to be finalized, or?
And you know what? New York's one of those great states that they have the no fault, no contest. Like,
Yeah.
we understand a lot of you people are going to try to make this shit work, and you're going to fail. So we're going to make it really easy. For thank God, Buddha, whoever you want to call it, that I live in New York and that my marriage is failing. Like, if you live in some of these bullshit backwards southern states, or like North Carolina or Georgia, they're like, well, you got to get legally separated for a year. So
I
maybe
had to do that
that's
here
what they
at
did.
one
They
point.
say you got to get legally separated for a year, then you can file a petition for divorce. But in that year, they're like, maybe you can go to Jesus and the pastor can help you because people have problems. I'm like, no, we want to just get this shit done.
I think it used to be like that in New York.
Wow.
'Cause
No,
I had
no.
to do that.
Really? Was that in 05? And so you got divorced in New York?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I got to, and so my separation lasted 2 years, but that's also because my ex-husband's father was a lawyer, and it's a whole thing. We're not going to go into that. But I would love to tell you it gets better, but I'm not really sure if you look at me, you're going to feel that way.
Honey,
But I am happier.
Right.
I am happy. You know, it's a shitty thing to go through, but and I wouldn't wish it upon anybody per se. But you know, life goes on, and you make it what it is. So here's your chance.
I just have more time to do the shit that I want to do now. So I'm
Exactly.
like, this is
Yeah.
great. Like, I don't got to check in like, I'm going to be home. And, none of that bullshit check-in
Oh, I hate that
text.
check-in shit.
You know?
Yo, I knew the minute my fucking train came up above ground, I would get a buzz, and it would be him, and he'd be like, "What time are you gonna be home?" But then I realized he was cheating on me, so he was probably just checking to
Oh,
see
he was
what
just
time I
checking
was
to
gonna
see
be
if
home.
This bitch on the way. Can't have her walk in.
And that's the worst thing when you get divorced. Everybody wants to speculate, like, what happened? You know, like, what happened? And then you tell them what happened, and they always say the same thing, like, well, I tell them, like, she's got new friends, and all of a sudden she started hanging out, and she, we got disillusioned with each other, and everybody was like, do you think there's somebody else? They always say that. And it's always like dramatic, like it's like some dynasty shit. Like, do you think there's somebody else? Some Days of Our Lives
Also,
shit.
does it matter?
Right.
Yeah,
At this point?
Right.
and I'm like,
yeah, like 5 other
Well,
people.
it's not me, so at this
Right.
point,
Yeah, right.
I
Right.
mean, the shit's not working. What difference does it make?
Right.
There might be a robot dildo in there. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But
But I feel also like marriages are over before they're over. You know, like
Yeah,
I feel
like,
like,
you
they
know.
kind of die, and then it takes like a year or two, sometimes like more, 5, 10 years for them, for the couple to finally be like, yeah, okay, we're calling it quits. But it's
Yeah.
been done for a really long time.
This
We've
marriage
been
has
roommates
dead
for
since
7 years.
2010. Like,
But for real, because
yeah.
it's hard. It's really hard to. There's so many emotions. Holy shit, so many emotions.
too many.
Yeah, that's the hardest part.
Mm-hmm.
It's
and then
just
you
too
went
many.
through the whole wedding and everything, like
Yeah, it's
all
so
that.
public.
Like, it's so public.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that
Yeah.
you're married, and now you got to tell everybody singularly, like, or what do you do? A Facebook post?
I can't. I kind of feel funny about the Facebook shit. It's almost like we know we're getting divorced. It's gonna end, but it's like we can't post it on Facebook until we're ready. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
Because that's a whole nother. That's a hit right there.
Then it's gonna be like Marissa and I were talking about this earlier. That's gonna be like the whole which reaction emoji you're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? Like the comment thread, having a dress and worry about all the comments. Like, I got enough anxiety about life, and I'm getting divorced now, and I gotta fucking find a new place to live in New York City. I don't need that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't need any.
That's the other thing,
like,
too, the
I
new
want to.
place.
I want to ghost Facebook shit, like social now. I just want to like talk about shows and I don't want to like talk about any personal shit.
I have a
right
friend who
now.
got off Facebook because of that. They're
Yeah.
going through a separation, and they're just like, I'm not on Facebook. I'm thankful that shit wasn't. Not that it didn't exist, maybe, but it wasn't prevalent. It wasn't a thing when I was going through it. People love to insert themselves in your relationship. That's the
Yeah.
other thing I learned.
Did you hear about this new thing that's like happening with like divorced couples where like they'll get like a crash pad for like them to like one person will like go there and be there like on the weekends, and the other like the mom will take care of the kids, and they'll switch
Really?
So what is it?
Because
Yeah.
it used to be like they couldn't even afford to move out of the
because
same
they can't
house.
afford to move out the same house,
I'm
so
gonna
they'll
have-
get like
Oh,
a little
really?
1-bedroom apartment
Right.
uptown and keep the kids all together, so
Right.
that way like they don't like it's like not all, like crashing the family apart.
Right. Well, luckily there's no kids. It's just my dog, and he's coming. He's coming.
I was going to
with
say
me.
who's
You
getting
get
the
him?
dog.
Yeah.
I got
Getting
the
the
dog
dog,
too.
baby.
I
Okay.
got the dog.
The dog. I got the papers on the dog, and the dog is coming with me.
How did you? Was that a fight, or did she just like?
It was amazing because it just shows you how sociopathic people can be. Because I'd come home. We used to get the dog, and she would say, you're lucky we have this dog here. If it wasn't for him, you'd be fucking dead. You know what I'm saying? Out here, like the dog was like that buffer.
She sounds
you
charming.
Yeah.
Ooh. Right.
Yeah, right. She's like, oh, if it wasn't for this dog, and then she had like all this emotional investment in the dog, and then it's like at the end now it was like. She would buy all these outfits for the dog, and like the dog has got like a raincoat. He's got a
What kind of dog is this?
He's a beagle foxhound mix. We
Okay,
have
that's cute.
Yeah, we have. We're on airplane mode, so I can't show you a picture now, but I'll show it to you after we get off air. But she loved the dog, and now all of a sudden I said, "What do you want to do about the dog?" I don't know, and she says, "Well, I could take the dog, or you can take him." Like, whatever. It's like whatever. Like whatever is what you say when like, hey, where do you want to eat tonight? You want sushi or Mexican? Like, I don't know. I can go for whatever. Not like, about something that you had an emotional investment in, that you cared about, that you love, and now it's like fucking a seamless choice. That's what it's become.
Here's the
you know?
question though: who's getting the dog clothes? Because if she takes the dog clothes,
Oh, I'm getting the
she's
yeah.
just like, all right, I'm
My
about
ex
to
did
replace
the
this
same
with
thing.
another
My
dog.
ex did the same thing. He was like, "No, this is the kind of dog we gotta get," and I'll like, "I love him, I love him, I love him," and then he was like, "Peace out," because he was responsibility, and it used to piss me off too because at the time while we were still getting separated. There were a few months in there where he was still on the lease, and my lawyer advised me don't change the locks, whatever. And he would come into the apartment, and it sucked. But anyhow, and I told him, I said, whether you believe it or not, it upsets the dog. And if you're not a dog person, you're not going to get this, and you're going to think I'm
It's
crazy.
confusing.
No, yeah.
Right.
But it is
Right.
because, and then he would just disappear and stuff. And I said, if you genuinely do care about this dog, and this is, swear to God, not about me, if you care about this dog, stop coming here because it's really hard for him. And I'm not joking when I say that he was tearing furniture apart, he was peeing, and this was behavior he had not exhibited. This wasn't like he was a puppy
Exactly.
or whatever.
Yeah, no,
like a
because
kid.
that's
Like a
acting
kid
out
divorced.
like
Like,
a
I
kid.
can't handle this shit. Yeah.
And I was just like, if you really care, you obviously don't care enough to take the dog. But if you really care, but I'm glad he didn't, to tell you the truth, because I love the dog
Yeah.
Oh, you still
dearly,
have the dog?
No,
He's
unfortunately,
Aw.
when I moved out to Denver, I had to put him down. But he was he was a bulldog, and he almost was like he was a month shy of 13.
Okay.
He was on borrowed
That's-
time.
that's
he
like
was
a
on
lot.
borrowed
he had a
time.
good run.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a good run for a
absolutely.
boy.
What is that?
Absolutely.
That's like 108
Yeah.
years in dog years right there. Like he
Yeah.
was like they were announcing his birthday on the Today Show. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
kind of.
you
But
know.
they are very emotional. Like I remember, he just got it. Like it was weird. There was one time where he was like in bed bawling, and he jumps on the bed and he just like puts his little face next to mine and goes. Like I'm frustrated too, girl. I don't know what daddy's doing. Like I get
It's
you.
so weird how in tune they are. They know
are.
what some shit's wrong.
And he's not getting that couch time anymore. Because that's what you do when you're a
Yeah.
couple
Yeah.
and you got a dog. Like that's it. Like the majority of the time, if you're at home, is spent on the fucking couch
Yep.
watching whatever program or series that you share with the dog.
Did you share?
Right.
So the dog
you
is
can't
like,
walk yet.
so the dog's been conditioned to
Yeah,
have like
absolutely.
2, 3, I don't know,
Yeah.
whatever hours a night. If we're not going out on that couch, then all of a sudden that shit stops. The dog going through withdrawal.
Yep.
It's like you come in, it's like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like when I leave the house, he's like, no,
Right. 'Cause-
don't do it. And then but see, that's the thing. It's now we're cohabitating, so it's like we're trying to avoid the animosity of conflict. So I try to stay the fuck out of the house as much as possible. She's trying to stay the fuck out of the house as much as possible. So the dog is just getting one of us at a
Alone.
time.
Yeah.
And when we're in the house together, the dog is still waiting for the couch time. Couch time's not happening anymore. Like we're being civil, but that's the point. My wife, she won't even sit on the couch for me anymore. And I understand that, you know what I'm saying? Because you want to normalize the separation and whatnot.
Right.
But then it's like, damn, it's like, bitch, we've been together for 6 years. Like, I have licked your pussy and your asshole, and you can act like I got cooties. You don't want to sit on the couch with me? Come on, like, give me a break. Like, come on now, really?
To be fair, you
on
probably
now.
do have cooties now
Yeah.
if you've been doing that.
My wife's a nurse and a vegetarian. She has a very clean asshole.
Fair.
I miss that
fair.
asshole. It's
That's
very
fair.
clean.
That's fair.
So Mo,
Uh-oh.
fuck, marry, kill.
Oh God,
Mm.
I love how I wrote this and then I don't know. Well, I know I want it. I can't say who I want to kill because then the freaking Secret Surfers will show up.
Oh, I think
So
we all
who-
know.
Yeah.
All
Okay. So we know that.
So there's an
Cheetos.
orange.
Let's kill Cheetos.
Yeah, kill all the
Cheetos.
Cheetos.
Need to
Come out my asshole. So, fuck.
anybody. No. Who am I totally into right now? I don't even. God, that's how I can tell I'm getting older. Like, sex is such an aside. I'm just like, all right. I would like. Oh, you know who'd I like? I'm not gonna say his name right because I'm not a Game of Thrones guy. But that Jason Momoa. Am I saying it right?
Momoa.
Yes, that is my
Aquaman.
fuck. That is my absolutely
Aquaman.
my
Aquaman.
fuck.
And
You know
and I
Aquaman.
mean that
Jason
with the
Momoa
I
Momoa.
mean that with the utmost respect.
for Lisa Bonet, that lucky
Yes.
fucking bitch.
Yeah, but you know what's beautiful? Here's the thing that I love and like hate at the same time, but like hate in a God damn it. She was his crush.
Yeah.
He was like, I remember the first time I saw her on the Cosby Show, and I was like, there is something so beautiful and poetic about being an older woman, having a hot piece of ass like that. See you as I think he was like, I don't know, a kid, like he was young, right?
Yeah.
And for him to continue to value you and see you as a fantasy and then to have that fantasy and then build a beautiful family.
Yeah.
I'm just like, you know, that's one of those I want to fuck you, but also fuck me. You know,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, exactly.
like that's like the full circle fuck right
Right.
there. Yeah.
He's definitely my fuck too.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's so great. And he's just that look that I love too.
Exotic and hot.
He's a real man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Not like us New York guys over here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's like,
you know,
yeah.
we're all getting
No.
pedicures and shit. You know what I'm saying? Going out. Like, he's like, was he always that jacked though?
No,
No,
wasn't.
he looked like a
No.
little boy. He was very
Yeah.
different, but he's like manly. But see, this is what I like about him, and I take it with a grain of salt because honestly, what do we know about him? We know what the media shows us mostly. But I follow him on Instagram, and he is definitely a dude's dude, but like recognizes how to be a human being. He respects women. He has like even like when Zoe
Yeah.
will post stuff or when they post stuff about each other, there's so much love there.
Yeah.
And I like that he, isn't afraid to show that. So he's not afraid to show love just because he also loves to like ride motorcycles and murder people on screen and
Yeah.
whatnot. I
Yeah.
dig that. I'm really into that right now.
No, he's so
and he
hot.
is exotic, which when you look like me and you're basically like a tiki torch Nazi's wet dream, you like the exotics.
All right.
That's a joke. Don't fucking write letters. Nobody writes letters. I
You
know
can
that.
write all the letters.
Yeah, write all the letters.
Write all the
Take time to
letters.
write a letter.
That
Nobody
means
will
I
read it.
love you.
Right.
So now marry.
So I don't ever want to get married again, but
Damn.
Hashtag me too.
Really?
hashtag jaded. I've literally said to guys that I like, they're like, would you ever, consider getting married or marry me? And I'm like, no, I like you too much. I would never do that to you. I might have to get married just like for a healthcare proxy as I get older. I don't know. Is that a thing? Who would I marry? I feel like I should marry a woman.
Oh,
I think that would be the better choice this time around. It would just make better sense.
2018. Why not?
Marissa,
Fuck
you
it.
want to marry me? Let's give
Let
it
me-
10 years.
Why don't you
Let's
just
give it 10 years.
Let me
just make it a
marry a
healthcare
dude
proxy.
first, and I want to get that starter husband under my belt.
Fair. That's fair. That's
Oh yeah,
Um,
because you've never been married before.
no,
so-
I've never. I'm the only one at the table. So
fair. It's so overrated.
Ronnie,
I
you married?
want to do it.
I'm still technically married.
Ah.
Yeah. Legal separation right here. Yeah.
Part of the club.
Part of the club.
D
also
club.
a cheater.
I'm not in there.
Do
didn't have
you
the whole
want to
big-
be?
Yeah.
It costs a
Yeah.
lot of money.
Gotta
and it
pay your
hurts.
dues and
And it
misery,
hurts,
bitch. That's
right.
It's expensive and painful, like a
like-
Brazilian wax.
I've
Or
never
a
done one
nose
of those
job.
either. Nose jobs were pretty
You
easy.
haven't had a
They give you-
Brazilian?
No, I never had a
I
Brazilian.
just had one.
Yeah, no,
for the
I've
first
never.
time.
But
I
is it
don't
like
know,
the
it's so
recovery process
personal.
for the nose job? Like,
I mean, they give you a lot of drugs. Like,
For nose jobs?
yeah.
Yeah, I thought about getting. I had my nose broke twice, so I have a deviated septum.
I have
right
a deviated
here,
septum as well.
And I thought, like, for the snore, like, it's always a thing. Is like, people always say, like, oh, I got the nose job. It wasn't cosmetic. It was for medical purposes. Because we're all like, oh, I don't want to be like trying to be some kind of Ken Barbie bitch, being sculpted over here. But like, I really don't breathe,
Yeah.
properly.
Yeah, but that's the
Probably
thing. You
wouldn't
don't
see
have when they. All right, they can fix your deviated septum without having to mess with the outside of your
Oh,
nose.
okay.
So that's like a bullshit
All right,
excuse
all right, all
that
right.
people
but
use
it's
for
like if they're
sure.
already going in
I
there.
know. I don't
Right.
disagree with that.
You might
I've
as well
thought about
shave
that.
off a little.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree with that. I'm just saying, like, I went to school with some girls who had that, and they were like, "I have a deviated septum." For the longest time, I was like, "Oh, I guess And I also have a very deviated septum, as a matter of fact. And then he was like, "Well, we can just fix that." But while we're messing with your nose, and I'm like, I know,
I mean,
I should, but
I have an Italian father and Jewish mother, so I should have a nose like Gonzo. And you can see,
Your
you can't see.
nose is
I've got a good nose. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
how I made it that I have this good nose. Now, I've got a very hairy ass, you know what I'm saying?
Whoa,
But
that's so
I
nice.
got a good nose, though. You know what I'm saying? And no
You
Brazil-
Mary
gotta-
Kill, fuck
Sorry.
Mary Kill, all three right
Mary
here.
There's toss-ups in life.
Toss salads.
Yeah, well, not with
Oh.
that hairy ass.
all
but,
up in it right here.
Hey, listen. Wall
I
clippers.
floss.
I don't wax, I clip. Wall clippers. That's it. Maintenance.
Actually, waxing your ass crack does not hurt as much as You know what hurts the worst when I get waxed? This is what I cannot figure out. Like the top, like right where your bikini would end,
Yeah.
like the top part.
Yeah.
That motherfucker hurts so bad. I'm like, why there? Why there? Like, I feel like you're going to take a lip off sometimes, and that doesn't hurt as bad as, like, right
Right
on
there.
my, kind of like your
stomach,
stomach, pubic
yeah,
bone
yeah,
area.
It's
yeah.
the beginning of the happy trail? I don't know.
I've never been waxed before.
That sounds like a trail of tears. Like,
Sometimes. It's not sex if somebody doesn't cry. That's my theory.
No
No,
Native,
just kidding.
no Native Americans
not good
suffered
sex.
from it.
Sometimes I've had good sex where I wanted to cry. Like, it was that good where I was just like, oh, thank you, Jesus.
Ooh,
so,
yeah.
so Rodney, who's your fuck, Mary kill?
Ooh. Chadwick Boseman right now.
Wait, who is he?
He's
And he's your what?
he's the fuck.
Played James
Okay.
Brown. He played Jackie Robinson, and then he was just in
He was
Black
in
Panther.
Black Panther.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
has like this I don't know if you saw the cover of I think it was like Rolling Stone where like you
Right.
can see like his like
V.
The V.
and some junk.
V and junk?
Ooh,
Okay.
yeah.
Wait, like when you say, okay, I have to, because I get specific. When you say junk, do you mean like,
Like the head of his penis.
how do you see the head of his penis?
He has on these jeans and they're like nice tight jeans.
he's
And, you
got-
know, it's
Oh,
just
that's
like,
what,
hipster
okay, so that's
jeans.
what I
He's
was
got
going to
hipster
ask, like the
jeans.
you know, it's like some
outline.
jeans, the outline.
Right.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
I need to know.
Okay, so
Inquiring
that's your
minds
fuck.
wanna
That's
know.
my fuck. Who would I marry?
Who's your Mary?
Your ex is like, why is he not saying me?
Right. You know why I'm not saying you, motherfucker.
Bitch, we already married.
We're already married. Trying to get out of that shit.
It's like real liberal people when they talk about Trump. Like, I will not say his name. I will not
It's
say
kind
his
of Voldemort.
name. He who remains nameless. Yes.
Because doesn't he get money every time we say his name?
Right. I feel like, yeah. Ooh.
The devil gets another soul.
I don't know. Come back to me on the Mary. Who would I kill? Obviously, the resident in the White House.
All right.
See, he did it. The resident.
The Resident Evil? Yeah.
Lee, who's your fuck, Mary kill?
Oh, that's okay. I'm gonna say Let me start with kill first. Kathy Lee Gifford.
That's fair.
Yeah, yeah, I want to. I really,
She's so
I very irritating. Let's go with Mary. I'm going to say, I don't know, maybe Gail Gadot, the Wonder Woman chick.
Okay.
So she's like kind of strong, but like, and then I saw that movie with her and John Hamm and Zach Galifianakis. They play, it was like a Mr. and Mrs. Smith type thing. It was a parody spy, and I thought to myself, like, she'll be good to take to a party. Hold on a conversation. She can have time on her own. Like, we can have a good together life, but separate life too.
Right.
I don't want no weak fucking woman. You know what I'm saying? I want somebody strong. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
A strong
Sense of
person.
self.
Yeah, and then. Fuck is the hardest one right now because, like, I'm just like, now that I'm getting divorced, I haven't had sex in a few months. I've just watched so much porn, so it's just like, fuck has become more like a maintenance.
What kind of
what I'm
porn do
saying?
you watch?
You know what?
Has it like kind of digressed to bad things?
You know,
Have you gone down that rabbit hole? We're
I
like,
there
this
is a
shit's
rabbit
boring.
hole. There is
Yeah.
definitely a rabbit
Let's
hole.
search some stuff.
I was
It's like I only come to little people getting murdered.
right.
If there's no clown in my
Well-
porn, I ain't coming.
Well, since I'm about to lose my health insurance, I've been looking at a lot of prostate massage porn. I'm thinking to myself, it's kind of a twofer, and then I went through a stage of like mother-daughter porn because I don't have kids yet, but when I do, maybe it gets weird at that point.
So wait, do you mean mother-daughter where it's
Like
like,
a
a
mo-
mom,
a mom
and a
and a
girl, like
daughter.
a threesome, or
Right.
just the two of them?
No, mother, no,
threesome.
no,
Got it,
threesome.
Okay.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I like that. And let's see. I would have to say I like the. I'm kind of vanilla when it comes to like. I like the casting couch porn. I like that one. Where they're like coming in like
Hashtag
yeah,
me too.
like you're like for me it's all about
I've never done this before.
it's all about the interview. Like I know all of this is a bullshit, far-fetched fantasy, but like, please sell it to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be fooled right now. I need this. Like it's the lead up. Like I'm 40. I've seen so many asses and tits and pussies and full gapes and bukkake and smurf porn and all kinds of crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to get to know. I want a little interview before. You know what I'm saying?
Context. That's what
Yeah, I
I'm
need
saying. Sex
context,
happens in
right.
your head.
And
Sex
I'm
happens
still
in
like
your
on the
head.
opposite. I like anon porn, anonymous porn, like where it's like this guy. He's like, I'm in this hotel room, my door is open, and then some guy just comes in and fucks them.
Isn't that called
See,
Grindr?
women can't do that. Women are like, I gotta lock every lock
it's
and do
called
that
Grindr.
weird
Okay,
thing.
that's what I thought.
Yeah, we call that rape. I left my door unlocked, and some random guy came in and gave it to me.
Yeah, it's like,
Hashtag me too.
hashtag me too.
I fell asleep in the E train, and woke up with a cock in my mouth. Yeah.
Louis C.K.
Yeah.
No,
It's like that's why I never went to those
Is that-
frat parties. So I would definitely fuck Jason.
whatever. We
Whatever.
know.
Yeah. My Mary.
Mrs. Bonet.
Yeah,
or Mr. Bonet.
Yeah, exactly. My Mary will always be Keanu Reeves. Love him now forever. Because everybody's been saying Tangerine Baltimore, I'm not gonna say him.
Yeah,
So
please
I'm gonna
kill somebody else.
I'm gonna kill cancer.
I like
right.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my kill is
I like it.
cancer.
That's a good kill.
I like it.
That's
Yeah.
my kill.
My
I'm killing
brother's got
cancers.
that right now.
I
That's
figured
a good
out
killing
who
all
I'm
the
getting married to.
cancels.
But I'm getting married to Channing Tatum. He is
Channing
now
Tatum.
single.
Yeah,
He's now single.
Now, isn't he bi? Is
and
he?
all those Magic Mike moves can come over here.
You know what's interesting? I
He's
love
hot
how
as fuck, though.
He's hot as fuck.
Well, he's getting a divorce.
And
He's
he's
getting a
funny.
divorce.
Right.
Yeah.
And
And
did
he's
she?
funny.
She left his ass. Too.
Right. So
Did
what was
she?
he doing?
I didn't know that.
Right.
And-
Sucking the cock. That's
and if
what
and
he's
if
doing.
he is bi,
Hey.
and if he is bi, then you can have your boyfriend Chadwick Boseman come in on that. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, that's a threesome for
And
life
then
right there.
You get that reverse Oreo going on.
Oh,
You
my
know?
asshole's already just like pounding right now.
Right.
And that was a half a container of lube right there.
Way to bring it back. I love you.
I feel like this should be a podcast that's also animated. Like we should take like some of the things we talk about
And then like
just
have
put
a cartoon with
voiceover.
like a half a
Yeah.
container of lube.
Yeah,
And you have
just
the
this
little lube
pounding
elf that's just
asshole.
like
Then you just see
or
stop
maybe
animation of
maybe
of
like a
Channing Tatum
blooming
and
rose.
Chadwick
Yeah.
Boseman.
Her asshole.
Literally just saw that in my head.
Yeah, I know you did. Which, by the way, did you know that gay men have like a
Did you know?
68% lower incidence of prostate cancer? You know what I'm saying?
That's because we're always using it.
yeah,
You're always
because
fucking.
the constant stimulation.
Yeah,
you
you're
know?
always getting stimulated.
Yeah, and that's why I always say, just because I like a girl to put her finger on my ass when she's giving me a blowjob, it does not make me gay, just very health conscious. That's what I like to say.
Men have to get over it. Straight men have to get over that whole like if I take a finger on my ass because physiologically it makes perfect sense.
And that's like where your G spot is.
I'm not
Whoa.
putting a finger in an ass.
Well, not that you have to, but this, that's not what
never
I'm
did
saying.
it?
I'm just saying
Marissa,
this
you
whole
never
like
did
that
it?
makes me gay bullshit. That's stupid.
You never had a guy ask for a little... No?
No.
I like listen. Here's the thing.
Like
I
I've had
hate.
a guy ask me to peg him, and I've definitely had a guy like
There you
ask me
go.
to like eat like more than
Rim
a
him. Give him a
full
little rim.
pegging. No, because
Okay.
everybody that knows me well enough knows I'm way too germaphobe to be like putting any of that shit in my mouth. But it's like
That's my line.
like the yeah. I'm
Like
not.
it's happened on accident.
For the
but-
listeners, maybe you and Mo can help clarify this. What is this? I'm a little in the dark in this. I feel kind of prudish at this point. Can you define the difference for the listeners of pegging and rimming? What is the difference?
Oh, that's a
God.
huge
Huge
difference.
Okay, I don't. I mean, I'm asking.
Well, you
Well-
can take it.
I'm gonna give it to Rodney. 'cause
Right,
He's
okay.
the he's the
I'm
ass
I'm the
expert.
ass
These are all-
expert. The ass connoisseur.
Yeah.
Pegging is when a woman puts on a strap on and she fucks a guy in the butt.
Okay, very invasive.
Very invasive.
Right.
Rimming is just simply licking someone's
Well,
asshole.
I know what that. Okay, I didn't. Okay, I got.
I mean,
it.
well, other people might be listening that don't know what rimming is.
Yeah, I'm not
very-
putting that shit in
It's
my
a
mouth.
it's an educational.
And then if I
podcast.
were to
But I love it because it's the dude that like will fuck you in the ass as a woman or whatever. But then like God forbid you put a fucking pinky in their asshole even a little bit, and they're like that's gay. I'm like really? I'm like you like fucking my asshole. Like
no one's
how do
fucking my
you-
asshole either, though. But
No, but I'm just
Right, 'cause
saying.
I'm
like,
an asshole-free zone.
I
Never had it in the butt ever?
Like once in my
Accidentally.
early
No.
20s, and
That's what they all
it's
say.
just not
Once in my
my
early
thing.
20s.
It's like
slipped.
it's just not my thing. It's just kind of like because like
I save that for small dicks. No,
It makes a difference. So talk about
I know that.
Yeah,
I'm
I,
kind
I've
of
had a Dominican lover.
like lactose intolerant, and I'm kind of gaseous, and like you
Yeah.
know, and it's just, it's just uncomfortable. And
Right.
like it's just like the first time it happened, I'm
Nobody's
just
trying
like
to pressure you.
you don't need
you know.
anything to make more air in there. You're trying to
Like-
minimize the pockets. Like we got it.
I'm trying to hold in all the farts at like normally.
Right. Right.
And like, cause I know this is gonna ruin a mood. This is why I don't eat. I don't fuck directly after sex. Like I know if we're having Mexican, we're gonna have
Yeah.
to wait 48 hours. Like,
Yeah,
You are a thoughtful
I
lover,
can't-
though,
yeah.
for
like
real.
I'm
Yeah,
not trying
'cause-
to blow up this
Yeah.
this bedroom like a toilet.
I
Like,
shit on
you
plenty
know.
motherfuckers by accident.
Yeah.
Just saying.
It's like it's like swimming. I can't do anal sex. It has to be at least 3 hours after they eat. You know what I'm saying? You got to give it time.
No, like yeah, it's not my cup of tea. It's just
I
it's
feel like God gave
uncomfortable.
me a hole. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I don't want a girl honestly to eat my ass because I know I'm disgusting. Okay, I'm saying like I
And
wouldn't want to put.
hairy.
Yeah, hairy. I don't want to put it through that.
There's all the
Hairy ass is the best. though.
huckleberries.
If she wants to,
what are we doing with the huckleberries?
now if
Dingleberry.
Dingleberries, huckleberries, it's just little shit particles.
Well,
is
now
what
unless
I'm
she's
saying.
also
Oh my God.
unless she wants to multitask, eat my ass and floss at the same time, then it's okay. No problem. You could get
This
some work.
gave me
done.
Have you ever had somebody
I had a
lick
girl
your
lick-
asshole?
I like to be honest with you. It's I prefer the finger. I'm a prostate tickle kind of guy, not an ass licking kind of guy.
Okay.
I don't want you to lick it, but you can go ahead and reach out and touch someone. That you
Got
can
it.
do.
E.T.
phone
phone
home.
home.
Exactly. Right. I do that. I'm not talking about like blunt force trauma to the prostate, like a little, pinky, like you're
Hey,
dusting.
how you
saying
doing?
Like you're cleaning, yeah. Like,
How
yeah.
you doing, prostate?
Like a tickle, not like
tickle.
I ain't
actual.
seen you in a long time.
Tickle.
Not like all the way up to the knuckle.
I don't want the knuckle.
Putting
Yeah,
all the
like,
way-
yeah. I would say half. We'd give it like a thimble. Like a thimble ass.
Have you ever
type
had a
thing.
girl
not
who just
real.
didn't know what the
Yeah.
fuck she was doing though, where she just thought it had to be like, oh
yeah.
like it's something you got to kill.
That's why I
Because
can't.
that's how guys finger.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
There's something in there, and I gotta find it.
I'm like, are you trying to get
Like,
a
there's no bell to
candy,
ring.
stuck candy bar out of a
I'm
fucking
telling you.
vending machine right now? What are you doing, asshole?
This is an operation right now. Like, there's no buzz that's gonna tell you went the wrong way.
The good thing about being a New York guy is I'm OCD, the mental metrosexual thing. Listen, look at my nails. You see these? Look at these nails.
Yeah.
Nice, manicured, filed. This is the kind of finger you want inside of
Fair.
you. You know what I'm saying? This is attractive
Not with that
finger.
ring, though.
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna
It's gonna
get
eat
the rock
you.
and roll.
It's
Yeah,
gonna, that
look at a
skull
skull.
is gonna eat
Rock
you.
You're
skull.
getting skull fucked.
It's almost
yeah.
like a rabbit, though. That
Yeah.
might tickle your
I was
clit.
gonna
You
say,
don't
I feel like
know.
You don't
Give it a
know.
chance.
Hey,
Give
Marissa,
it a
don't knock it,
chance.
honey,
Until you
until
try
know.
it.
Come
That
on,
might
don't
be-
knock it. Don't
I
knock
don't
it.
know. It's a lot of
He
teeth
could
on
do
that
But then you lose it up there. Could be a problem.
He probably has carpal tunnel at this point. Just.
ring. So that's a heavy ring.
I won't know because of this. You're getting divorced. Shit, all that porn.
It's good for jerking off, though. The rings are good.
So Mo, who do you think our next czar is gonna be?
Sorry, what? I'm sorry, I'm still stuck. on
Who will be our next czar?
Oh, our next czar. That's right. See, I should know these because I sent these questions in.
Hello.
I don't know. So I was thinking like maybe Putin should just. I feel like Putin has a guy in Russia he's going to send over and just be like, you will run America now, okay? Enough
You mean
with the
Trump?
Cheeto.
Like,
Well, no, like a for real Russian.
oh, like Pence.
Well, no. See, that's the thing. Those guys, like, how should I put this? Like, I feel like the Republican Party fucked up so bad, and now, like, they fucked up so bad that at this point they're just out, and the Russians are coming. Which my parents came from a communist country, so I feel like I have a plan. Like I listened all those years when they were talking about what it was like in communist Hungary. And I'm like, okay, I'm ready. I can do this. I'm ready.
So basically, the Americans is basically about your family and coming to America.
Well, no, my family aren't spies. Like, they fucking left for a reason. And I think it's hilarious. Like, it's almost coming full circle now. And it's so funny. My mom, she said to me the other day, they love Putin. They love Putin in Russia. I'm like, they don't fucking love him. They don't let
They're
anybody
afraid to
else
be
run
dying.
against. Yeah, like
they're
exactly.
afraid they're gonna die.
I'm like, have you heard about the guy in Britain?
Yeah.
So I feel like he's just going to handpick an oligarch that, maybe studied here and is very Americanized, and they'll just run him as a Republican, and then they'll just fully take over our country.
I'm not 100% convinced that Trump hasn't already sold us all to Russia.
I don't think he has, but here's why. I'm going to tell you this. The Russians are very good at espionage, and what they're
Compromat.
Yeah, and so really what it's been with Trump and his cronies and his stupid fucking son-in-law is and his daughter looks like a Russian prostitute, so hey, throw her in. But I think like they recognize their weakness. They recognize that his hubris is something that they can leverage, and they know how to do this. That's the thing. Like, there's nothing more dangerous than having a president who thinks that he knows it all, is better than all, and smarter than all, and then having these people who are so well versed in, like, because it's like psychological, So I feel like they know how to manipulate. And when you listen to people talk about this stuff who really are in the know, and that's not me, I'm just regurgitating information right now, they'll tell you, like, that's the thing. That's why it's so dangerous to even be in any type of, relationship of any sort with the Russians, because they know how to leverage things to get what they need from you.
Right.
But aren't we? And it's not beyond the realm of the imagination of all, because, like you said, in Russian culture, they're very good at espionage. I mean, it's like if you look at any Bond
Not the
movie,
culture,
the best
the
villain
government.
is always like a Russian guy. But the point is that. Aren't we giving maybe the Russians even too much credit? I mean, we got a Twitter presidency going on right now. Isn't it couldn't anybody who has a good social media savvy go in there and try to sabotage that, try to infiltrate it, try to contradict it? You know what I'm saying? It's like it doesn't have to be. It could be it could be like a hacker in Pakistan. It could be somebody in China. It could be like anywhere. Our government policy, everything, because of the platform that Trump uses with social media, with Twitter, could be so easily manipulated right now.
But this
that
goes far
anybody-
beyond. I mean, this isn't what we see, and what ends up on the media is shit. It's nothing. This goes so far beyond, and it's really until you start to sit down and talk to people that have lived under Russian and communist rule. You start to talk to people who lived through World War II, that you start to understand what shit was really like. I was watching something, and honestly, it was an ad for a show. So this is really just, like me half paying attention, but they were talking about the Stasi and how they would bring people in for questioning and to take lie detector tests, and they would put a cloth on the seat, and they would pretty much, count on that person perspiring or whatever, like essentially leaving their scent on that cloth. When they left the room, they would put the cloth in a jar. And then if they found flyers or anything that was propaganda against the government, they would have dogs sniff the various jars of people that they, obviously had identified as like anti-government, and then sniff the flyer to identify who had touched
The
that flyer.
Right.
That's some
Wow.
fucked up shit. That
Yeah.
goes beyond like,
Wow.
Twitter and stuff. And see, that's the thing is like, we don't believe that shit could happen, but it already has.
Right. Yeah.
And we're living with this naivete of like, well, that's terrible. That couldn't possibly happen. I'm like, bitch, it already happened.
It's already
We're
happened.
bringing
It's
it
already
back.
happening.
We're
We're
playing the
bringing-
classics.
It's like
Hey,
what's old
it's
is
like,
new again.
It's like every TV show that's coming out now. Say it's all Will and Grace, Roseanne. It's like, hey, we can't write
Like-
new shit anymore. Let's just bring back stuff that works.
fascism reboot.
Reboot.
For sure.
Right. Yeah.
Who's gonna play Miscellaneous?
It's like we had a wall that separated East and West Germany. Now we're put one in Mexico. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Bam.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna have to wrap this up, you guys.
On a high
I
note,
know.
on a really good,
I know.
conspiracy theory.
I know it happens. We're gonna have to get you guys back again, and we'll finish this up.
Thank you so much, Maria.
I will not
Yeah.
talk to you
Good time.
anymore.
It's like
I love mother country Russia. Please don't kill me.
yes.
By the way, you
that's so good.
you have the
so-
Red Sparrow hairdo. You like Jennifer Lawrence? Like you really look like
Only I had her tits.
yeah.
She doesn't even have her tits. But before we go, Mo, like, where can everybody see you next? Can they follow you on social media? Like, projects are you working on?
Positively. So social, I prefer Instagram. So that's at Mokavida, MOKAVIDA. You'll see pictures. You can troll me. You can probably masturbate to some of the stuff that's up there. You'll also see my shows. I'm in New York for the month of April. And I've got some stuff coming up. I'm doing Marissa's show on the
14th?
with that, and the 20th. So we've got some stuff together. I'm also doing a great show with Mutia. You know her?
No.
It's a all female lineup. Excited about that. That's on the 13th. So I'm going to post everything on my social. So follow me at Mokavita. Thank you.
Ronnie Daniels.
You can follow me at Instagram at Rodney Daniels, and the show the 19th and the 20th that I'm hosting at the Broadway Comedy Club. The 20th is Fashion Me Funny with the lovely and talented Marissa Smith, and it's Friday 4/20, so we're gonna be talking about weed.
There you go.
Hell yeah!
Lee Paul.
Again, I will be on Instagram, Show for the Ages, SHOW, the number 4 and the Ages. I'm on Facebook, Lee Paul Creasy. I'm going to be at the Grizzly Pear Tate Winston show, 10 o'clock on Tuesday. It's on McDougal Street between Bleecker and West 3rd. I'll be hosting Tom Monestine's Ugh comedy on Tuesday. Hey, everybody, I'm Todd. Like, I'm black, but I sound
We
like a
love
Jewish guy.
you.
Anyway, I love you,
Todd.
Todd. We love you, Todd. And I'm going to be hosting that. And then if you want to hear some music, I stay busy. I'm in a band called Age of Change on 420. We'll be at Wicked Willie's, 149 Bleecker Street. And then also I'll be performing at American Trash Bar on April 22nd.
Look at you.
Follow Big Talkin' Brewskis on Twitter at Big Talkin' Brew. Follow me on Twitter at Marissa Smith. Also, check out my new podcast, Blamestorming. You can follow us on Twitter at The Blamestorm and check us out. And please subscribe to all the shows. Rate us and review us on iTunes. You can catch me on the 14th at Greenwich Village Comedy Club. Also, catch me next Tuesday on Ralph the Mouse show at the Pear at 8 o'clock. And remember, you guys, Trump had 2 fires in his tower because he is too cheap to pay for sprinklers. Have a great week. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Fuck Trump.
It's
Bye-bye.
a Trumpster fire. It's a Trumpster fire.